I've said this a lot of times on the show here, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but almost every Pixar movie is connected. And I'm not talking about the Pixar theory. But I'm here to tell you that Pixar failed. Let's go on the journey. Back in 1995, the first movie Pixar ever made was Toy Story. But they didn't put an Easter egg from Bug's Life to Toy Story, their next film, because at that point they were in survival mode and just trying to figure out how to make a successful animated film without dying and not get deleted by Disney.
No pressure, but the whole company and all your stockholders are riding on this.
Once they figured out how to make movies to perfection, there was no stress at all, whatsoever.
Hi, you know, here at Pixar, we do everything absolutely perfect the first time.
So in Bug's Life, they had an idea to put bloopers at the end of the video, which on a side note, I wish they did that in every Pixar movie as a tradition to their films. Inside the bloopers, we get to see the first Easter egg in a Pixar movie referencing to the next movie that they plan to release in the history of Pixar. Flick says one of the most famous punchlines in Toy Story, which is going to be a reference to the next movie.
And action.
To infinity and beyond! I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
They didn't stop there though, they also had Woody holding the clapboard. And this is where the tradition of hiding an Easter egg to their next movie in their current movie was born. Now climb aboard and I'll show you where all the links connect in all the Pixar movies, and I'm gonna show you where the train fell apart. First off, you see that Toy Story isn't on the train because it didn't link to Bug's Life. Bug's Life had Woody as an Easter egg to Toy Story 2, which comes out in 1999. Starting the train and the tradition. Now in Toy Story 2, they were still trying to discover if it was best to shout out their previous movie or their next movie. From a marketing perspective, the tradition evolved into referencing the next movie since most viewers probably already seen the previous movie. But in this dilemma, they had Flick and Heimlich in the credits. But they went Bug's Life crazy because they also put Bug's Life in the toy store, had a Bug's Life calendar, and even a Bug's Life book. The closest thing we get to an Easter egg in Pixar's next movie, in Toy Story 2 though, is a box of eyeballs referencing to Theodore Pauly in the next film, Monsters, Inc. That Easter egg might have been too hard though, so in Monsters, Inc. they try to make it easy, and that's where we find Finding Nemo being given to Sully from Boo. Now Pixar's getting the hang of it, but the Easter egg was a little bit too easy. Then in Finding Nemo in 2003, we find this kid is reading a magazine. But if you look, you will see it's Mr. Incredible on the cover. And that takes us right into The Incredibles. Then in The Incredibles, Doc Hudson finds himself in the fight scene at the end referencing to Pixar's next movie, Cars. Then in Cars, if you look inside the Cozy Cone Motel, you will see the Eiffel Tower. This is located in Paris, which is also where Ratatouille takes place, which would be next on the list for Pixar's movie. Then in Ratatouille, they teased us about how the cockroach, which we didn't really find out about until later on in the next film, WALL-E. But this is where the train starts to derail. They needed to have an Easter egg to Up, and they failed. Now, a lot of people on the internet would say that they did have an Easter egg to Up. Carl's walking stick can be seen in WALL-E's clubhouse by the TV. Now I say this is totally not real. Carl's walking stick has 4 legs with tennis balls on them so it slides easier. This is not a walking stick. So what is it? It's an upside down chair. If you look here, you can see clearly it's the same situation, but it has 5 legs and not 4, just like you would find in an office chair. But here's the weird part. Skinner's scooter can be seen right there. So with making these movies back to back, things behind the scenes started to fall apart when it came to communicating the order of which movies were going to be released first. So not only did WALL-E kill the planet, but he also killed the tradition, failing to link something to Up. But if we take our broken down train and forgive Pixar, we see Up tries to repair the damage and fix the tradition by linking Lotso Hugging Bear in the girl's bedroom to the next movie, which was Toy Story 3. Then Toy Story 3 in 2010 put Finn McMissile on a poster in Andy's room, pretty clearly shouting out Cars 2. Then in Cars 2, they put a rug in the pub of Merida's family in car form. A rug! Then Brave, they had a carving of Sully in the witch's house. This was setting them up to return to Mike and Sully in Monsters University. Now when we get to Monsters University, there's a real scare. Where's the Easter egg to Inside Out? When making Monsters University, they didn't know which movie was going to come out next, so to play it safe, they gave an Easter egg to both movies. Arlo for Good Dinosaur, and then they had Rainbow Unicorn to shout out Inside Out. Regardless of the scheduling changes, Inside Out still managed to make a reference to The Good Dinosaur with a dream about dead dinosaurs. Good Dinosaur in 2015, making a reference to Finding Dory with Hank hiding in the water. Finding Dory put a band-aid over here, referencing to Lightning McQueen quite literally on the band-aid, shouting out for Cars 3. In Cars 3, if you look in the bar, you will see the famous guitar from Coco. Then rolling right on through, we see the Incredibles painted on the wall in the alley, shouting out to Incredibles 2. Then in Incredibles 2, we see Duke Kaboom in the crib hiding with Jack Jack, who we later see in Toy Story 4. Then the fairgrounds, you can see a bounce house. This will become later seen on the van in Onward in 2020. Not stopping there, on this adventure, if you look on the table, you will see the Dorothy Williams Quartet record. This will be the connection we need to move on to Seoul. Then in Seoul, you can see a poster in the window to visit Portorosco, and this is the town where we see Luca. In Luca, we played the record card again. Over here, you can see a record of Four Town, which is the band everyone's crazy about in Turning Red. Turning Red stuck a sticker on the skateboard for Lightyear, as in Buzz Lightyear, as in the latest movie Lightyear, even though it wasn't the real Lightyear because they used the wrong voice. Then in Lightyear we find the Easter egg to the caboose. What's a caboose? It's the end of the train. If you look at the vending machine, you'll see Wade Water. Wade Water is one of the main characters to Pixar's next movie, Elemental. If you haven't hit that like button, you might be mental. While you're watching Elemental though, make sure you keep your eye out for anything that looks like it doesn't fit in Elemental, because it's probably an Easter egg to the next movie that Pixar plans on making. Now, connecting movies from this movie to the next movie is one of Pixar's longest lasting tradition, but it's not the longest lasting tradition that they have or that they broke. That's right, there's a tradition more common than this, and we aren't talking about the pizza platter truck. Until our next adventure though, remember most importantly of all, gentlets, you know what to say. Share, smile, they are contagious.